What's up, everybody? It's Ian here with Miller Garage, and we are continuing the renovation project on the 1976 Airstream. This one's going to be a mobile coffee shop, which is super awesome. So if you haven't been following along with us, that's what we're going to be transforming this into. You can go check out some of the previous videos that kind of explain like how we came about getting there. Also, I'm trying to produce as much content as I can during this build, but with the 3-month deadline, I'm not able to really document everything. So I'm kind of hitting some of the areas that I've seen, people ask questions about more on the forums and on groups and stuff like that, as well as just some of the stuff that I'm excited about or I think is cool, but I really just can't get everything. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to still produce some good content, and we're gonna have more projects in the future, even more Airstream related stuff. So, but my big focus and objective is to get the Airstream done. With that deadline, I'm basically working every single day, working till the light's gone. So very busy, a little exhausted, but it's coming together and it's looking amazing, and I'm super excited. So we're gonna jump in. Today we are working on the banana wraps. All right, now that the compressor is off, today we are working on the banana wraps, and these go on basically on all 4 corners of the older Airstreams, and it's basically just a formed piece of aluminum that tends to get beat up a lot. I think in the front, a lot of people actually use them as a rock or stump finding device, that whenever they hear a loud crunch, they know that they found a rock on a campsite. So, so they tend to get beat up. This one definitely had some damage. It was actually, looks like somebody hammered it out somewhat. There was a scrape right here. You can kind of see it, and then they hammered it. And then obviously on the front, this is the front end, there's a whole lot of dents and just rock chips and all of that. And so the goal is to get this looking a lot better. We're going to straighten it out and clean up the surface quite a bit. I'm still debating if I'm going to polish the front ones or if I'm going to spray them with a truck bed coating. The reason is I'm definitely polishing the back, but the front, they take so much abuse from rocks flying up and all that kind of stuff that it may just be a lost cause to try to polish it. Partially because of just its current condition. I would probably have to put just an immense amount of time to get this sanded down, and then it probably really wouldn't even still turn out that great. So I'm really leaning towards using this truck bed coating, and kind of just giving it a finished look. But we'll see. I'm gonna figure it out. But the first thing that we're gonna do is kind of smooth out the surface and get rid of a lot of the dents and all the creases and where somebody had worked on it before. Like I said, looks like they took it off and beat it with a hammer pretty crudely. So if you have a big dent where it's in a lot, you can start off hammering it out first. None of mine are that bad, so I don't have to do any of that first, but you can get either, I wouldn't recommend just a nail, like a carpentry hammer. You can get like one of the body forming hammers and like a sandbag. Any body place, I think Harbor Freight even carries that kind of stuff. I've seen like body hammers there. I don't know if they have the sandbags, but I know they have at least body hammers. And so you can get that there. Eastwood is also a phenomenal supply for that kind of stuff. And that's where I got the next thing we're going to talk about, which is the English wheel. So once you get it kind of roughed out, then you can bring it in here. And since this is a curved shape, this is a great tool to use, because the whole point of the English wheel is actually to create curves like this. Like you can build fenders and really, basically fabricate panels for an entire car. And so we're going to use that just to smooth those spots out. I know a lot of people don't necessarily have an English wheel laying around. It's kind of an obscure tool. A lot of people that I've talked to don't even know what it is. So we're going to just go over that. If you don't have that and don't want to get one, there are other options. You can use like a hammer and dolly to really get this, probably 80% of the way there. Because the dollies, it's basically, it's like a piece of metal that has certain shapes to it, and then you hit the other side with a hammer while you're holding it, and so it basically creates that shape. So it's going to do a similar effect to that. And that's quite a bit, less expensive. You can get a good set for anywhere from 25 to 50 bucks. This one's the Eastwood tabletop English wheel, and it's about $500, and then like $150 for the additional dies. There's different dies that go below the main anvil, and these have different curvatures to them, so you can do more or less dramatic curves on your forming. And so basically we're just going to start off just smoothing it out. I'm not going to go really crazy on it because my whole point is to smooth it and not to actually add more curvature, because that's mainly what this does, is actually creates that crown, is what it's called, or the curvature in the metal. And so I'm keeping it at a looser setting to allow the metal just to be flattened out and not actually start to create more form into it. We want to avoid doing that because then you might deform it and either it won't fit or it'll look like it's got a bulge in it. So you don't want a bulge in your Airstream. All right, now I'm switching the lower anvil. The one that comes standard in there, I believe, is it's like a 6 or an 8 inch radius. So that basically says if you were to go and create an actual full curve with it, it would be that big according to the curvature on the anvil. So this is going to be a 3 inch. So with a 3 inch, I can get into kind of the more tighter curved area and not put a crease in it. I was starting to notice that it put a little bit of a crease right here because it's getting in on the edge. So this one will help kind of prevent that from happening. Now I will say I am no expert with this. I am very much in the learning stages, so it probably, if you know what you're doing with one of these, it may look like I have no idea, and well, it's because I don't really, but I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm able to get some decent results with these, and that's really the objective here. And I'm not going for perfection or anything, but just wanting to make it look quite a bit better. So with that smaller radius, I'm able to get into this corner a lot better and really work those sections a lot better. And again, we don't want to go over sections for a long time or real aggressively, because the whole objective here is more so to smooth it out and not actually form the metal and add additional curvature. So, this is looking really good to me. Again, since I'm probably going to spray this and not polish it, I think that this is improved good enough. But you can see a lot of the dents are now gone. It looks a lot smoother, and just overall it's improved. A lot of those small rock dents have been smoothed out. Again, you can work this a lot longer to get a lot better results, but since this is Probably gonna have the bed liner on it. That's gonna cover up a lot of the kind of small imperfections and stuff like that. So, so that is basically how I have been repairing and fixing the Airstream banana wraps. So this is the method that I've found most helpful for fixing any dents in the banana wraps on the Airstreams. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. I know yours may look a little bit different or may have bigger dents. Like I said, if they have the bigger dents, you can work them with a forming hammer first and then either run it through the English wheel or get like a dolly set and clean it up that way. There's several different ways that you can make these look better. Ultimately, you know, it's very hard to get them looking 100% perfect just because aluminum, when it bends, it stretches, and so you're going to reshape, it's going to mess up the shape of it regardless, and you can't ever get it back perfect without just making new ones or buying new ones. Love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We have more Airstream content coming. We're going to be working on the Land Rover restoration next once we're done with the Airstream. I have like paint thinner bottles popping over here. It's always fun. Texas heat, gotta love it. It is ridiculous, like 100 degrees today. But yeah, we got more stuff coming. So subscribe to our channel, like the video, follow us on social media, and we will see you next week.